From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Tonight, we wrap up Week 11 with a good Monday nighter between the Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. This defense for the Chiefs, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Carr now to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
You're mine.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory, right at the 40. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They run out of the gun with Swift. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Open man right side is St. Brown. Now he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. Interesting decision here. Opening drive, Charles. 4th and short. You're in field goal range. We'll see what they do.
I just shake a fist at my offense and say, go get it, guys, because if you can't pick up 4th and short here, we're probably in trouble the rest of the game. Show some confidence, show some aggressiveness, go pick it up.
And that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
So the missed field goal, and now they're in great shape. They'll start at the 38. On first down, Mahomes throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Mahomes now on first down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Levi Onwuzurike showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. We were wondering what they would do defensively to disrupt Patrick Mahomes. Sacking him on the first drive, that's a really good way to set a tone.
The last thing you want to do is let him get established in the pocket where he can set his feet and throw wherever he wants to. Even though he does it well on the run and on the move, you definitely want to get him off the spot in the pocket.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 26. That's good for 28 yards.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Hey, rip list. Hey, Sunday, on Sunday. Come back.
On first and 10, here's Mahomes. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they were in field goal range last time out but couldn't connect.
It's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
The Carr's throw going into the hands of Williams. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. From the gun, here's Swift. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Ron Thornhill. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Off a touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up fourth. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. Returnable here from the 38. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Right back to him on first down. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Mahomes looks to throw on third down. Touchdown! A 14-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
The credit the tackle to Juan Thornhill.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Carr. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Juan Thornhill. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick 6, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
Now a play fake. Carr. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick 6, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the 2nd quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression. My goodness, indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you've got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And
for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It's a loss of 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Now a handoff up the middle. Walls. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Walls. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. It's a 6-yard carry. It does put him just a few yards short of the goal line, but 4th down coming up. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Escaping the pressure right. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 36 yards on the play. Carr now on first down. And he'll get this into the hands of Swift once again. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Carr going to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath with those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Leo Chanel. And the Chiefs are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yes,
and now the rookie's free. 30, the 20. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. 71 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Walls. And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 3rd down, Walls. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. 37 yards on the punt with no return, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On second down, Swift. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And that will skip out of bounds right at about the 18-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And he'll take this one up to about the 23. 90 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
They'll try and run here with Swift. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
They'll go for it. It's Carr. He's got this complete to Williams. And he is going to have the Lions' first down. It's a gain of 12 on 4th. Here's Carr. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
But we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Carr. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Leo Chanel. And the Chiefs are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Walls. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef, they want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it's 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well, great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Finding Williams once more, complete. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down. Now Carr. That pass caught. It's Williams. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 34. On play action. Now Carr. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown Lions. A great play there. 34 yards. And the Lions are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by Badgley, up and good, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
Let's go now.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not, and I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Walls. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. On the return, here's Agnew. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this.
And that's caught inside the 30. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Carr now on 1st down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Hey, 734.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Got St. Brown running the quick slant here. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. On play action, it's Carr. And now here's another interception. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Chiefs, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for Detroit, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday at noon Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit.